In the Blitz, I was 13 because I was born in 1927, and I was 13 years of age, and we lived in Old Trafford. And where we lived, we were in a direct line to the docks, and the German planes used to come over, and we used to hear them, boo, and that was. But when the air raid siren went, we went to a communal shelter, and this particular, well, we used to go to the communal shelter, which was at the bottom of the street. This was December the 22nd, 1940. My late father, he was a special constable. We lived in Old Trafford, so he was in the Old Trafford Special Constabulary. So when the sirens went, we went into the shelter. My mother had been to see her mother, who lived in Hightown. So when the air raid silence went, she was caught in Manchester, in Piccadilly, in a communal shelter. So in our big communal shelter, there was my sister Brenda, there was me, and there was my twin brother, who was a messenger boy in the I think it was, well, in one of the local things, because he was only a youngster. And my young sister Dorothy, who was 3 years younger. And as I say, my elder brother, he was in the forces. And when the siren went, there we were in the shelter. And then December 22nd. And then when the bomb fell, it was the most dreadful sound, because, as I say, we lived in a direct line to the docks. But we had this great big communal shelter. We also had an air raid shelter in our garden, but we didn't go into that. We had to be all together. My mother, as I say, was caught in town. Then the bomb fell, and my poor father, who was a special constable, he was mortally wounded. And they brought him, and he went to the shelter, and he lay at the door of the shelter because they couldn't get him inside. And my elder sister Brenda, she was at the door, and she held his hand all night until 6 o'clock in the morning, until the all clear went. And then the ambulance came, and they took him to Withington Hospital, which we called in those days Nell Lane. My mother, as I say, was in town. We then, after when the all clear went, we went home. We weren't far from the communal shelter. And my mother came from town, and by the time she got home, and we told her what happened with my dad, and by the time she went to Nell Lane Hospital, my father had died. But Brenda said she'd held his hand all night until the ambulance came to take him. But it was a dreadful time. So, as I say, there was my elder brother Walter, he was in the RAF regiment. Norman and me, we were at school 13, he was a messenger boy, and Dorothy. And this is it. And my poor mother, how she coped, we had a gents' outfitting tailor shop. One of my uncles taught her how to measure, and my mother was a wonderful woman. She ran that shop, and she used to come in, the men used to come in, and she used to measure them. But when it came to the inside, no, she said, sit down on a chair. She said, sit on the chair, and she measured the inside, like from the outside. And she ran a successful business, and she brought us up.